In a battle where loyalties and trust have been lost, the ARL went back to court today claiming illegal deals are being done. Despite Rupert Murdoch's constant denials, the ARL is adamant his News Limited is behind the rebel players' planned global competition. The league's counsel Bob Ellicott told the federal court, "We would say that their conduct could be in contempt of court orders." The players' matches to begin next Friday are being organised by English League chief Maurice Lindsay. Mr Ellicott revealed that News Corporation has already paid the English football group $190 million to join the Super League. And there were other coincidences reeled off by Mr Ellicott. The name Global League had been registered by Super League last January. As well, he claimed there are suggestions the matches will be broadcast by Channel 7, in which Rupert Murdoch holds a 15% share. And this afternoon, the federal court ordered rebel players and Mr Lindsay to put their plans on hold until Monday, when the full bench will hear further argument.
Nothing really.
Despite the ruling, there'll be no change to this weekend's round of ARL matches, just 4 games involving loyal clubs.
What I'm filthy on is all those Super League blokes, what they're doing now is trying to get the public to be sympathetic with them. Well, the public shouldn't get sympathetic with them.
Damien Ryan for Nightline.
The ARL was determined the season opener would have all the showbiz and spectacle Super League claim was missing from the game. 10,000 supporters gave round after round of applause, a gesture that had ARL chief Ken Arthurson on the verge of tears.
You've been absolutely true blue. I'm very proud of you all.
But he was less than charitable towards the rebels.
I didn't think that I'd ever see the day when players went on strike. They've virtually gone on strike simply because their clubs didn't have the guts to tell them what their contractual obligations were.
While the fans turned out en masse last night, it was a very different story for the second game of the round this afternoon at the Sydney Football Stadium. The ARL recording one of its smallest crowds ever. But while they may have been few in number, they were vocal in their disapproval of the Super League players' decision not to play.
They're just trying to destroy the game as far as I'm concerned.
If they really want to play for the love of the game, then they shouldn't be worried if they get paid $1 million or $100,000.
It's a shame when you open a rugby league week and each team says not supplied.
Clubs are now considering adding gate losses to the damages claim.
If you look at last year, we had an average of 21,500 people to a game, so it will be a substantial loss.
While the ARL teams have continued the first round of the competition, Super League players have had to be content with team barbecues, informal training sessions and watching the ARL games on television. Darren Curtis, National 9 News.
It was billed as the best competition organised by the best players, but Global League, like Super League before it, is dead and buried.
It is pleasing because the full court has held the right of, as what Justice Burchett has said from day one, there should only be one competition.
The full bench of the federal court not only banned Global League, but punished the players for pushing the idea. It reversed an earlier decision which allowed the rebels to be paid by News Limited while not playing for the ARL.
The players now have to play, we're directed by the ARL, or not to be entitled to further payments under their Super League.
After a horror weekend for the ARL with 6 games forfeited, the decision provides some much-needed relief.
Let's get everyone back on the field to play and start the rebuilding process that the game deserves.
And this afternoon, many of the players started that rebuilding, announcing they'll be returning to the game.
It's very likely that most of our players will be playing Sunday.
Penrith was followed by Canterbury and the Auckland Warriors, the players declaring they'll be back this weekend.
We're delighted that the players have voted as one unanimously to come back.
The rest are expected to follow suit tonight or tomorrow, but how long they stay will depend on the result of Super League's appeal in May. Damien Ryan, National 9 News. The Canberra Raiders are back, and so too is Laurie Daly.
Laurie will be playing as well. I said everybody will be playing.
His decision is a major backflip. The champion 5'8" was the most outspoken critic of the ARL.
Right from the start I've said that I don't want to play in the ARL competition. Now, if I go back and play, I'm just going against my word and about everything that I stand for.
Daly wrestled with his playing future over a lunch in a Canberra restaurant. His teammates reluctantly agreed to go back to the ARL earlier in the day.
I don't think we have to swallow any pride because we're forced back to play there if we want to get paid.
The last of the rebel clubs to hold out, the Brisbane Broncos, will also play this weekend.
The relief is that we're going to play football. Admittedly, it's not the competition we wanted to play in.
But the Broncos will be missing one of its stars. Rebel players spokesman Chris Johns will not be considered.
He hasn't trained for 2 weeks, so he'll have to get a bit of conditioning back.
Despite the Rebels' return, an uneasy peace still hangs over rugby league. Some players have hinted at fireworks on the field, while off the paddock, officials warn of retribution against those most outspoken. But the ARL has given an assurance there'll be no paybacks.
It's going to take everyone involved in rebuilding this game, everyone. And it's no use worrying about personalities or what's been said.
Damien Ryan, National 9 News.